Good evening, I'm Paul Adler. It's Decision 2024, and tonight your votes will be counted. The polls close tonight at 7 p.m. right here in Missouri. If you live in Arkansas, polls close a little later at 7:30. Remember, as long as you're in line by the time the polls close in Missouri, 2 hours from now, you can cast your vote tonight. We have team coverage across the Ozarks tonight. We have Francis Watson and Adam Woodbray at watch parties for candidates Mike Kehoe and Crystal Quaid. They are both running, Quaid and Kehoe, for Missouri governor. We also have crews covering the Missouri U.S. Senate race between Josh Hawley and Lucas Kuntz. We have Chris Bryant and Joe McLean setting up camp at both of those watch parties tonight. And our team is watching polling locations as the after-work crowd rushes to cast their vote. We have Reagan DeTrolio in Camden County and Ashley Reynolds watching for any issues that may arise. First, though, extreme flooding across Missouri has taken the lives of 4 people so far. 2 people in their 70s died very early this morning in Wright County. The water swept their car off the road near Beaver Creek. The sheriff tells us the 2 who died were poll workers. Meantime, firefighters found a woman in St. Louis dead in her SUV. The vehicle had been submerged in flood waters. And a 66-year-old man died Monday when floodwaters swept his car away in Iron County. The Highway Patrol says he tried to cross a flooded bridge. The extreme flooding has caused rivers and creeks to rise to dangerously high levels. And take a look at this. This is the National Water Prediction Service. It shows the Rubidoux Creek is currently right here at 19.37 feet. In another hour, it's predicted, let me get this lined up, to be at 20.1 feet. And that would tie an all-time record set back in 2013. Back then, in 2013, a mother and a child died. So this type of flooding is nothing to take lightly. In fact, it's considered major flooding when you start setting records like that. Charmel Odell is there live tonight with a look at the current situation. Charmel.
Paul, well, I'm here near the Rubidoux River, and if you take a look behind me, you can just see the excessive amount of flooding just happening right here. Now, emergency management leaders tell me they've already started closing down several roads. Highway H near Springfield Road was one of the first roads to close, following after Superior, South Benton, Olive Street, Bailey, and Pine Street. Now, but the biggest concern is right here near this creek behind me, the Rubidoux River. Now, emergency management leaders also tell me they're expecting the river to rise and break those records, as you were just mentioning, by 6 p.m. tonight, about in another hour. Now, as this is a developing story, we'll be sure to update you right here live in Waynesville. I'm Charmel Odell, KY3 News.
Thank you, Charmel. Let's go now to meteorologist Danielle Davis with the latest on the rain totals across the region as we look at a beautiful sunset tonight.
Yeah, I mean, a beautiful sunset, much deserved after the mess that we've had over the last several days. Want to show you some more river levels. The Rubidoux Creek, hey, over towards Plato, actually broke a record this afternoon, hitting 23.41 feet. And right now it is dropping, which is great news. Current River, well, the measurement broke today. There was so much rain there. And across the area in the last 48 hours, we've picked up almost 5.5 inches of rain. With this area alone in this blue to black, seeing about 10 to 15 inches of rain. And also breaking news right now, we have our first storm report coming in from the tornado yesterday in Elsie. Now a confirmed EF0 tornado with peak winds of 77 miles an hour. That path length 1.4 miles in Stone County caused damage to a roof, an outbuilding, and of course we had several other tornadoes likely yesterday, and survey crews will be out over the next several days to assess more damage, but the flooding causing some problems for them, so it may take a little bit longer. Good news is we're drying out now. You saw that beautiful sunset. We'll stay dry over the next several hours, still in time for the polls to close. Forecast looks great. We'll stay dry and we'll see partly to mostly clear skies overnight tonight with maybe a little bit of fog waking up in the morning. The next couple of hours, temperature-wise, we'll be back in the 60s. Sun goes down, quickly dropping into the 50s by around 7, and overnight lows tonight still a bit mild, mid to upper 40s waking up in the morning, and we'll see pretty nice temperatures through the week, and there's also some more rain on the way. I'll have more details on the day it arrives coming up shortly.
Thank you, Danielle. Turning now to our Decision 2024 coverage, let's check in with On Your Side reporter Ashley Reynolds. She's been tracking voter concerns all day long. Tell us about those complaints, and is there a line to vote right there in South Springfield?
Things are picking up here. The after-work crowd is trickling in. I just saw a FedEx worker and a cop, and it's pretty obvious they got off work 5 o'clock and they're going to vote on their way home. Well, let's get to those voter concerns. We heard from a few veterans who said they had voter ID problems today. They were not turned away and voted, but had to go through some hoops. One voter tells us they had to call the Secretary of State's office to get it worked out. We are looking into this issue. We also know 3 ballot machines in the Ozarks jammed today, which for a brief period of time prevented folks from casting their ballot. Now, in one case, a voter folded their ballot. A technician had to be called out and the machine was fixed. Now, in those cases, in case you see this happen or if it happens again, voters can use the auxiliary bin, and a bipartisan group will later cast those when the polls close. Or voters can wait it out until the problem is fixed, then scan it. Many did that today. In about 2 hours, the election center near the historic courthouse will become the receiving center. A bipartisan team takes the ballots there.
And then we'll upload those uncertified results into a computer that has never touched the internet, as well as even the sticks. Once we use those, we go to a different computer, we upload those results, and then we do not use that stick the rest of the night unless it gets cleaned again before we use that stick.
Again, polls close here in Missouri in less than 2 hours. We are live in South Springfield tonight. Ashley Reynolds, KY3 News.
Thank you, Ashley. Missouri will have a new governor by the time all those votes are tallied, and it will be between either Republican Mike Kehoe, Democrat Crystal McQuaid, or Libertarian Bill Slants. We go to Jefferson City, where Francis Watson is live at the Mike Kehoe Watch Party tonight. Francis.
Yeah, Paul, take a look at the bus behind me. Final touches on tonight's celebration are just wrapping up as supporters of Mike Kehoe are starting to arrive. Now, we did catch up with Mike Kehoe this morning as he headed to the polls with his family. We took a moment to speak to him after he cast his ballot to ask him what the plans for the rest of his day are. He actually told us he was thinking about cleaning out his garage. A little bit of humor there as he waited for the polls to close. We asked him how he's feeling about his campaign heading into today, and this is what he had to say.
I want to be a governor for all of Missouri. Elections are about the chance for people to look at what your policies are. When the election is over, it's time to govern. And my intention will be to govern for all Missourians.
All right, now we're expecting Mike Kehoe to arrive here shortly after the polls close. And of course, we're going to keep you updated with what latest happens out here in Jefferson City. But for now, we'll send it back to you, Paul, back at the studio.
All right, Francis, here in Springfield, we have Adam Woodbray at the Crystal McQuaid Watch Party, and Adam set the scene for us at this location.
Yeah, good evening, Paul. I'm outside of the Greene County Election Center. That's where Crystal McQuaid cast her vote. She left about an hour and a half ago from the location. She had her campaign team with her, as well as with schools being out, she also had her youngest daughter with her as she was voting. Now, McQuaid is actually pretty well known here in Springfield. This is where she lives. She's been a member of the State House of Representatives since 2017. It's 2016. Then it was 2017 when she became the House Minority Leader, and that's where she's been ever since. And then June of last year, that's when she announced that she had her eyes on the governor's seat. And during the primary election back in August, McQuaid walked away with just over 50% of the vote.
Jumped into this race because I know that we deserve something different. Missouri has been ranking on the bottom for everything from public education funding and what our teachers are paid to access to rural hospitals, and the cost of healthcare is just astronomical. We deserve a leader who's going to invest in the things that matter and get out of our personal lives and out of our doctor's offices. So I'm excited to see how things go today.
Now, the McQuaid campaign does have a watch party planned for 7 o'clock. I'm actually going to be heading over to that location here in just a few minutes. Now, if McQuaid does get enough votes to win the election tonight, she'll actually be the first woman that was ever elected governor of the state of Missouri. In Springfield, I'm Adam Woodbray.
Thank you, Adam. Next year at 5, our Decision 2024 coverage rolls on. Next, we cover the heated race for a Missouri seat in the U.S. Senate. A look at the way both Josh Hawley and Lucas Kuntz plan to watch the results come in tonight. Well, we've witnessed quite the battle for a U.S. Senate seat here in Missouri. Democrat Lucas Kuntz is taking on Republican incumbent Josh Hawley. Chris Bryant is live in Ozark, where Hawley's watch party will be held tonight. He'll watch the results come in right there.
Yeah, good evening, Paul. At just about 7 o'clock is when the doors will officially open for guests who are invited to the party, and then they'll soon start waiting for those results to come in. Now, those very first election results out in New Hampshire and Knoxville Ditch were last night at 11 o'clock local time, and just soon after, they hope those results will start pouring in right at that 7 o'clock mark like they did last night. Now, Hawley took office as a United States Senator in 2019 after beating Democrat Claire McCaskill in the 2018 race by 5 points. He ran unopposed for the Republican primary this past August. Now, at 44, the Stanford and Yale graduate is looking forward to once again learning more about Missourians if he's reelected to the United States Senate. And he's gotten a chance to tour the state, talking to people, which he said earlier today was a benefit for him and probably one of the best educations he has gotten. Now, the doors here once again will open around 7 o'clock. They'll wait for those results to come in right shortly after. They don't expect it to be a very long night here at the Hawley campaign. We don't expect to see him again. He was here briefly for a little bit about a half hour ago. We don't expect to see him again until later tonight. He will speak to his supporters here. Win or lose, we'll have all that for you later tonight from here in Ozark at the Hawley campaign. Chris Bryant, KY3 News.
Thank you, Chris. Democratic challenger Lucas Kuntz is in Kansas City this evening. Kuntz voted this morning in Independence, near Kansas City. Independence, of course, is the hometown of former President Harry S. Truman. After voting, Kuntz greeted voters at 2 churches. The Marine Corps veteran will be at a local union hall tonight to watch the results come in. We have reporter Joe McLean at Kuntz's watch party tonight, and we will have live updates from McLean throughout our election night coverage. We have crews in Camden County tonight watching as voters file in to make their voices heard. Reagan DeTrolio is there live at one of the largest polling locations in the county with a look at turnout today. Reagan.
Paul, we are at the main polling location here in Camden County, and the Camden County clerk tells me that this building is actually 3 precincts combined into 1. She says it's made the voting process a whole lot smoother. And take a look at what we're seeing in here right now. You can see there's already a line starting to form. Voters are coming over here to exchange their information with election judges, and then right after that, they'll come and pile into one of these many tables, write in their ballot, and then they will move over here to the ballot machine to slip their ballots inside. It's a pretty easy process, and the county clerk told me that they've been super busy today, and they've also seen nearly 8,000 early voters, so lots of people coming to make their voices heard. Remember that the polls close right here promptly at 7 p.m. You have just a couple more hours to get out and vote. Live in Camden County, I'm Reagan DeTrolio, KY3 News.